Hey guys, I just wanted to talk about Trials Rising for a little bit. I made a previous video, kind of a reaction video to the E3 trailer they released, but I wanted to go into some more detail because there have been some new little pieces of information that have released since that trailer came into being, and since E3 has come and gone. And so I wanted to talk about some new information, pretty much everything we know about Trials Rising up to this point. And then I wanted to focus a little bit on the Trials editor, Track Central, and Gear Central is what they call it. And I'll go into that later. But first off, this is the first Trials game to have licensed music. So well, they might have original tracks. I don't know. They haven't really mentioned much about it, but it does have licensed music at least. So I'm curious to see which bands they have and what songs. Definitely going to keep an ear out for that one. So I'm pretty excited about that. The Track Central track rating system is the same as in Trials Fusion. So thumbs up, thumbs down, or don't rate it at all. And that's one thing that some people either hate with a passion, or they just don't care about, or maybe some people love it. I don't personally love it. I'm indifferent. I don't think it's a terrible system, but it basically replaces the 5-star rating system from Trials Evolution with essentially a 3-star system. You can hate it, you can love it, or you can be indifferent. So I almost wish that there was kind of an in-betweener, like you can do thumbs down, no rating, thumbs up, or 2 thumbs up. So if you like a track, you can give it a thumbs up. If you just love a track, like it's a masterpiece, you can give it 2 thumbs up. I wish they would do that. I think that'd be a perfect kind of in-between kind of middle ground. So that way you're not pressuring players to rate a track on a 5-star system. You can just take it down to a 4-star system essentially. And that way, I guess that's why they simplified it, to make rating tracks quicker and easier, even though it was already quick and easy to begin with. But anyway, it is what it is. So the track rating system is identical to how it was in Trials Fusion. There is a BMX spike in Trials Rising, so that's the same as the Rabbit in Trials Fusion. No engine, just pedals and a bike. So some people don't really care for that bike, but I think it's pretty fun. It's very agile, it's very bouncy. You can do some pretty nimble techniques with it, especially in the extreme tracks. So I like it. I don't think it takes away anything from the Trials experience by far. Redlynx said that they are working on implementing a cross-platform, basically cross-platform everything. They want to have cross-platform leaderboards would be great. Track Central would be great. I do believe that they will have basically cross-platform Track Central. Maybe not at launch, but eventually it will be here. I hope it's at launch. I really do. But they didn't give us too many details. They didn't give us any solid confirmation. They just said that they're working on implementing cross-platform wherever applicable. So that's just one little thing. In my previous video, my Trials Rising trailer reaction video, in the trailer they showed a bunch of bikes riding on the same driveline, and I was thinking that's just some crazy multiplayer mode where you have multiple riders on the same line, which is incorrect. It's actually just ghosts. So you can set the opacity of those ghosts. You can make them totally translucent, transparent, or totally opaque. So that's just a setting you can adjust. So not actual multiplayer on the same driveline. So I just wanted to clarify that for people that weren't sure. The tandem bike, where you have 2 riders on a single bike, looks really fun. We basically have one rider controlling the front half, another rider controlling the back half, and together you have about 120% of basically horsepower. So you actually can achieve faster speeds on the tandem bike than you can with any of the other bikes, but it requires some extreme cooperation. And I'm assuming there's going to be a tandem-specific leaderboard for each track, and that would be awesome, because if you have a badass team like you and your friend who are just Trials pros, can just dominate the leaderboards. The tandem bike, that mode is only available for local multiplayer. Trials is a very detailed and competitive game. I guess when it comes down to it, the specific controls and all the little techniques you have to achieve to make certain jumps or to get past certain obstacles, something like that, especially over the internet, there would be, maybe a half-second delay and things may not work out correctly. So I can totally understand why they want to make the tandem bike local multiplayer only, because that way there's no delay. It's just you and a friend, and you're just knocking it out simultaneously, and you don't have to worry about a network issue playing with someone across the country or across the world. The amount of skill games available at launch of Trials Rising is going to be about double the amount that Trials Fusion had at launch. So if you really like those skill games in Trials Evolution and Trials Fusion, you have a lot to be excited about. There's roughly double the amount in Rising as there was in Fusion. So that's that. Skill games, I'm all for them, but they're not my cup of tea personally. But I can understand why people would like them. They did focus on a little bit more things like the rider customization options. There's much more of them here in Trials Rising than any other previous Trials game. You can customize your skin color. You can make, dark-skinned, light-skinned, even unrealistic skin tones like purple or green or pink. You can set your skin color to literally anything, apparently. So that's cool if you want to be like the Hulk or whatever. There also are no more team leaderboards. This is one thing that kind of came into the Trials Fusion life a bit after it was launched. You could create a team, you could join a team, and then together your team could go and just like destroy people's scores on leaderboards, and you'd all be grouped together and stuff like that. And you can compare your team scores with other team scores, and a lot of people really liked that, and a lot of people didn't care for it. So it was just one of those things where I'm assuming just because Trials Rising has a limited budget and they just can't implement absolutely everything from every previous game into it. So based on what we know, it looks like Trials Rising is essentially the game that we should have gotten right after Trials Evolution. Trials Fusion wasn't a bad game, and it ended up being a lot better a couple years after it launched than it was at launch. It was wholly incomplete at launch. It was missing some key features, which were later added. And Trials Rising looks really, really, really good. Every time I see it, every time I see a gameplay of it, I'm just like, I just want to play it. I just want to get it on my TV, and I want to play it, and I want to build some tracks. And that's where I'm going with this next piece, is that the editor has every single piece available, every item, every object in the track editor included from Trials Evolution and all DLC, Trials Fusion and all DLC, and the Blood Dragon. So Trials of the Blood Dragon. So all the objects and editor pieces from those games and all DLC is already all in Trials Rising from the beginning. And that just by itself is amazing. That's incredible. That just opens, like, the whole world is open for track builders. And if they just stopped there, that would be enough for a lot of people, but they didn't. They actually added a lot more features, a lot more objects, a lot more little things you could do. Like you could scale objects now. So if you have a tiny statue of a gargoyle, you can blow it up and make it huge, like they did on one of the tracks up that they showed at E3. So you can scale objects. You can make big objects smaller objects bigger, and it really, again, opens up a whole world of possibilities for a lot of the creative track builders out there. There's one of them I was speaking to who made a ton of amazing tracks on Trials Evolution, but kind of skipped over Fusion because of life events, and he just wasn't feeling it with Trials Fusion. You may know him, Dragon's Fury. He's back on the Xbox 360. One of the best builders, in my opinion, out there, and he inspired me a lot of my tracks. So shout out to him, and I look forward to any tracks that he builds for Rising, and that's going to be great. So altogether, when you take all the objects from all the previous games, plus all the new objects, you have over 8,000 different objects. And they're all scalable. Well, I'm assuming, the actual objects are going to be scalable. There's, data cards and like events, items and stuff like that, effects. I'm assuming you can't scale absolutely everything, maybe just the 3D models. But that's going to be a ton of stuff. And I do have 8 tracks planned. I actually, ideas were just hitting me at light speed. I'm like, ooh, I gotta write this down before I forget. So I wrote down 8 different track names that I decide that I'm going to build. I wrote them down in the order that I'm going to build them in. I know what the theme's going to be, you know, roughly how long they're going to be, the length, and the difficulty. I've got it all planned out. I just need the game in front of me so I can actually build it. But I'm really excited about it. And yeah, I just can't wait. And another thing that they touched base on very briefly was Gear Central. So not Track Central, you have Gear Central. Gear Central will let you, and again, they didn't go into too much details, but they did say that you can basically customize the look of your rider and then put that look online for other people to download. To me, that sounds a lot like Forza or a lot of these other games that where you can customize or like create a design from scratch using like either a paint tool or like Call of Duty, how you can just like put a bunch of emblems on top of each other and create a design out of it. I'm assuming it's going to be similar to one of those two systems, and you can upload your design for other people to enjoy. If that's true, and I really think it is, and I hope it is, then I will actually be making new gear that goes along with the new tracks that I make. At least a good handful of them. Maybe not every single one, but I've got some really cool ideas about, you know, actual clothing that your rider can wear, or at least a design on a shirt or something that your rider will be wearing when playing one of my new tracks. So I'm hoping I could just like release two sets of things simultaneously, a new track, new gear, and just kind of throw it out there and let people enjoy it. That's one of the reasons why I love building tracks. I've been, you know, building things for games for a long time. Started out with Doom on the PC, back the old Doom, and then Duke Nukem 3D, and a bunch of other just customizable games where you can just like build stuff or create things. I'm all about that. So in Trials Evolution is when I first really dug into the editor, and I just loved it because I was just a lot of my tracks were complete garbage, especially the earlier ones, because I was still learning and I needed to really get my kind of graduate to the next level, I guess. But I really learned a lot, and yeah, whenever I start making tracks that are, you know, that are actually good, or at least a lot of people enjoy them, I get, you know, feedback, and people say, oh, I loved it. I was like, oh, it was good until this one part. So, but yeah, I love it. I love putting, you know, creating things, letting people enjoy it, and then kind of hearing feedback. So, yeah, I'm going to continue that with Trials Rising, and yeah, that's all I got. I just wanted to touch base on all those little things, and we will be making some new tracks in February. So we got 7 more months until I can open up the editor and start building track number 1, and I will let you guys know when that is going to be completed. Of course, it's going to be a long time from now, but whenever it's close to being completed, I will upload another YouTube video kind of detailing the theme, what went into it, what my thought process was. If you want to see all the behind-the-scenes things about this track creation, it's going to be awesome. Alright, thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you want to see more Trials, Shenmue, and other game-related stuff. I just make random videos, so have a great day.